real-life, actual Banisher here in the Harrows.
You're the governor's son, right?
Yes, sir. Lamentation Haskell. Friends call me Lammy. Or they would if I had any. Please, call me Lammy. I have so many questions, sir. So many questions. But I suspect this is not the time.
No, not the time. But perhaps you may help me anyway.
Me? Why, if I can help, I'd be honored.
So tell me, Lammy, what do you do?
What?
How do you spend your days?
I assist my father, especially with the ghost wards. That keeps me very busy. When I can, I continue my research into the mysteries of life. Wildlife, mostly. If I can find any. Those that aren't dead have left New Eden, and who can blame them?
Must be hard, being the governor's son and all.
Is it? I don't know. I've never been anyone else's son.
Hard to grow up in his shadow, I would have thought.
Only if you like the attention, not me. I just want to read books and learn stuff. People leave me alone, mostly. I like that. Mostly.
Your father spoke of the pestilence.
He did? Then, sir, you know as much as I do.
If you have an opinion of your own, I'd be glad to hear it.
Since you ask it, I believe a thing most vile assails us. An evil of origin unknown and perhaps unknowable.
So the pestilence is part of the curse?
Yes. Of course, the curse. Of course it's the curse. What else could it be?
Those ghost wards are quite unique.
They are, aren't they? Conceived by Etienne Roulet, but made by my father. Do you use them as well in your line of work?
Not really. I mostly talk to ghosts. I don't repel them.
Of course. Still, each tool has its purpose, and these troubled times we need all the tools we can get. Magic is glorious when wielded by the righteous.
You seem to know a lot about it.
Oh, if only, sir, if only. I'm still learning. Many of the subtleties and nuances escape me yet.
Your father believes there is a Harrow's witch. Have you noticed anyone acting strange?
I'd answer, sir, I surely would, only things being as they are, everyone is acting strange. The curse brought illness, illness brought division, division has led to strife. We could do with some healing, sir, we could. We need you to bring us peace.
Good day to you, Lammy.
Good day to you, sir.
This is locked from the other side. Good day to you, Mr. McGrath.
I'd wish you the same if I knew your name, sir.
Ishmael Law. I have seen you in the meeting house. I have recognized the markings on your hands. I would have liked to have been a banisher, to tackle with the mysteries of our world. That must be something.
You wanted to be a banisher? That's unusual.
As a child, I met a banisher. I was impressed by the marks on his hands, the assurance in his demeanor. He made me feel safe. You do God's work, though you know it or not. Like Charles Davenport, I respected the minister a great deal. He's a terrible loss.
You wanted to become a banisher. Why didn't you?
I got married instead. Came to New England. Ruined everything.
Tell me about folk round here.
A vast subject that requires, perhaps, a more specific question.
Tell me about Lamentation Haskell.
Nice boy. Very secretive. I do not understand the things he says. Fortunately, he does not say them to me.
Tell me about Governor Haskell.
A man like me does not get to know a man like him. He is a man of faith. We all trust him. That's all I can say.
How about you? How are you feeling?
I've not been asked this in a long time. I am feeling a bizarre conflict between faith in the Lord and sheer unholy terror.
Have you noticed, by chance, any strange behavior hereabouts?
Our village has suffered much loss of late. Many of my neighbors have seen the disease take their loved ones. They get sick, and you never see them again. Maybe you hear them moan as you pass their house, but then the moaning stops. In times like these, pray tell, if a person was behaving strangely, how could I possibly tell?
I'm sorry, but I can tell from the look in your eye that you've someone in mind.
Watson, the shoemaker. Perhaps because of illness or through the loss of his loved ones, but whatever has befallen the poor man, he seems to have lost his mind.
I'll see you later, Ishmael.
Anytime, sir.
The governor's speech was so inspiring.
Good day to you both.
And a good day to you too, sir. And wasn't that quite the entrance you made? You'll be the talk of the town.
So, what brings you to our wee corner of the world?
The governor bade me make the rounds. He suspects evil doing.
If it's evil doing you're after, you may turn around and hurry back to New Eden Town.
I met your partner there, the woman. It seems like a lifetime ago now. May God hold you and protect you in your grief.
Now, if you'd excuse us, my sister's not feeling well and we must hurry home.
When I met Elizabeth in New Eden Town, she seemed healthy.
Dear Eve, I didn't catch your names.
God be with you and your terrible pronunciation. Mary Claire O'Hara. This is my sister, Elizabeth.
What do you do around here?
We raise livestock, or at least we used to.
We lost it all to the witch's curse. And the curse still stands, does it not? Banisher.
What happened to the farm?
Sickness took Elizabeth's sheep. And I can weave nothing without wool.
It's pleasant to meet another Gale. Where in Ireland are you from exactly?
We left Clarenbridge for Boston many years ago.
How's life with the English?
We're all the same saints under God, sir. And we too are New Englanders now. After 7 years in service, we've earned our place here.
If you've any hearsay to share, I'd like to hear you say it.
Fools and sinners chatter. The wise and good hold their tongues.
If only Hugh Bachelor would follow God's word on that.
Why?
His fool's babbling cost him his sister and his faith in no particular order, yet still he gibbers on.
That's quite enough.
I'm no healer, but I'll help if I can. Do you have plants as need gathering? Something to ease the pain?
All the meadows sweet and vervain in the world will not help this fever, I fear.
We need no help from the godless. Thank you very much.
Our faith guides and protects us.
Then I pray that you get better, ma'am.
God will surely make me whole again.
She's dangerously sick. Either she doesn't know it, or she knows it and is hiding it.
And now you really must be going. We'll take up no more of your time. I insist.
I'll let you rest, so. Slan live. Goodbye to you.
Would you pray with us, Mr. McCrate?
Elizabeth.
God hath numbered my kingdom. Whatever my sister may believe, I've not long now. Please, pray with us.
I surely will, if you wish it.
Pray for healing, Mr. McGrath.
No, pray for peace.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
May the road rise to you, Elizabeth O'Hara.
Worry not about me. I'll be in heaven long before the devil knows I'm dead.
Elizabeth O'Hara, don't tempt him. God be with you, Red McCrae, and a good day now.
Give us this day our daily bread. Our bread, not our ale, our bread. Do you want us to starve? I should have the yeast. You know it, Mistress Barrow. You know it full well.
If you want yeast, then grow your own. Just stick some in a jar and grow it, and you'll have it forever. Now there is none, and it's my fault.
Food is a staple, and drink is a luxury. Give me the yeast.
How many different ways do you need to hear it? Of yeast, there is no more. There is yeast, no more. Yeast? No, no more. There's no more shitting yeast.
You're lying.
You're pricking now, Mr. Cottle, and I am vexed. Go home. Go back to your work. Go to hell for all I care. Just go away.
Good day, sir.
Good day, madam.
Mistress. Lucy Barrow, the alewife.
Red McCraith, the Banisher. Alewife, is it? I'd never have guessed from looking at you.
And what does an alewife look like, Mr. Banisher?
She's got you there.
Tell me about yourself, about your work.
What are you, the census taker? I'm Lucy Barrow. I'm earnest, proud, clever. I'm a widow of 41. My husband and I ran a tavern in England. I was the brains, he was... well, he was there. And if you call me Widow Barrow, I'll fetch my shears and dock your chestnuts.
What brought you to New Eden?
Freedom. Prosperity. The chance to watch good Puritan men drink till they are sick, even as they fill my purse. And chestnuts. I came for chestnuts.
Now, I happen to know that the alewife hears stories others don't. So, what's new?
Want a story, do you? All right. Recently, I saw Phoebe Walcott walking strangely. She was hiding something under her coat. I don't know what it was, but she went into her barn, and when she came out, she no longer had it. I've seen her repeat the deed on several occasions. Not that I'm counting, nor that I care.
How's life in the Harrows? As sweet as you would wish?
When is life as sweet as one could wish?
Well, that depends on how you define sweetness.
Sweeter ale sells better, but the sweetness makes it weaker.
Tell me about the governor. Not a big ale drinker, I imagine.
Sadly, no. Perhaps if he had been, he might not have been such an arseworm. He's a man, afraid of me, an educated woman. He pries, comes calling to check the contents of my pot. He's afraid, a scared little man. I am a woman of brains and means, but despite that, nay, because of it, I fear the witch hunt.
What can you tell me about Lamentation Haskell?
I hardly know him. He doesn't talk much. I suspect he's smart, but it's hard to tell. He's a little boy. Adorable, of course, but hardly interesting.
Would you be interested in a trade at all?
What do you need?
Can I ask, have you noticed anything strange lately? If you have, be sure to tell me.
I'll be sure to tell you if I see anything normal. Strange is the flavour of the hour, the week, the month, and the year. Yet folks still gossip. They're suspicious, aggressive, impatient. Perhaps they hanker for normality. I suppose it figures.
Well, if you hear anything that strikes you as unusual, do let me know. I'll take my leave of you for now.
Have a good day, sir.
Good day to you, sir.
Likewise. Red McCraith. You?
Perry Cottle, I'm the baker. What are you doing out here in the rustics?
I'm a banisher. I'm looking for ghosts.
Find no ghosts here, sir, nor demons. The governor, in his piety, sees to that.
I envy your faith, Mr. Cotto.
How's that working out so far?
A man can do any number of things with his life. What drew you to baking?
Oh, any of a dozen reasons. I'll not bore you with all 13. That's also how old I was when my parents died. I needed work. The baker needed a boy. He was a hard man. His wife was a pure-hearted woman. Taught me well. 'Tis hard work, but I love it. I love it dear.
What brought you to New Eden? Were they short a baker?
Elsewhere, folks backslide. Here, we know the value of our daily bread, of God's own bounty. Here, the baker is near in position to a minister.
What's the word around here?
Ah, it's gossip you want. Oh, so be it. Recently, as I made my way to the mill, I saw Ishmael Lore sneak into Phoebe Walcott's barn, his arms laden. Now, I don't know what he carried, but since then, he has seemed skittish.
How's life in the Harrows? Does it taste sweet now? Or does it taste bitter yet?
Life in the Harrows, sir, tastes like hard work. And so it bloody should.
What can you tell me about the governor?
Pious man of great eloquence. He likes a sour loaf, fresh from the oven, so warm the butter melts right through. I trust him completely. He's devoted, he serves his congregation, diligent and mindful, just like me.
What can you tell me about Lamentation Haskell?
Seems a good boy. Peculiar. Not the brightest. He's not like his father. Oh, no, not at all.
Have you noticed anything strange lately? Changes in demeanour, odd comings and goings?
Lucy Barrow goes picking plants. All furtive like. I've seen her. I've watched her. She puts them in her strange concoctions. Won't tell me what's in there. Maybe she'd spill it to you.
And where might I find this Lucy Barrow?
The alewife, when she's not furtively picking herbage, may be found in the ale house.
I should go.
God go with you.
Ghost Ward. I think you can safely knock it over. The ward's power is gone.
Lammy.
Yes?
Good day to you, Lammy.
Good day to you, sir.
Mistress Barrow, can I speak with you?
All right. Speak.
Would you be interested in a trade at all?
What do you need?
I'll take my leave of you for now.
And
the famed and famous Banisher, the one and only Red McWraith.
Have we met?
I was at the meeting house. You've got guts. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Ooh, politeness gives me the shits. I'm Phoebe Walcott. I buy and sell. Now then, what's your pleasure?
Have you been trading in New Eden long?
Forever and a day, your Highlander Highness. I belong to this land, body and soul, and can no longer tell where I end and it begins.
Really?
Huh? Of course not. Don't be so gullible. Life makes more sense to the cynic. Sense of humour won't go amiss, neither. Folk here are too grim to notice how charming and funny I am. 8 years, if you must know. Of the third settlement, I was one of the first to arrive. And look how far we've come since.
What can you tell me about the community here?
Like whom?
I bet you tell me what you know of Governor Haskell.
That kind man. He's been so good to me. He's all vapour and bounce.
Lammy Haskell. Any thoughts about him?
Him? He's so deep in his father's shadow you'd barely know he were there.
And how are you?
I'm doing my best to bring a little joy to the world, what with all the gloom.
And how's that going for you?
Badly.
May I see your wares?
I'm a shopkeeper, aren't I? Yes, you may see my wares.
So, have you noticed any strange behaviour of late?
Apart from my own? Yes. So much so that now I am almost normal. Caleb Watson, for example. Now he, my friend, is really strange.
Is he now?
He used to be such a nice man. Now he's aggressive and he smells like the crispest cat at Easter.
Where can I find Caleb Watson?
Well now, seeing as he's our cobbler, you'll find him in his workshop.
Till we meet again.
You mind your good self, do you hear?
Caleb Watson. We keep hearing that name.
Let's pay him a visit.
The well. It feels off.
Smells off too.
Looks like we found the cobbler's shop.
Smells even worse here. Holy shite.
It's justice. Start anew. Shite on these people. They can't hurt us. But how could you make him kiss it again?
Oh there. Are you alright, sir?
We're closed. Oh, now. Out with you. Leave. Leave.
I can tell from your sunny demeanour that you won't mind me asking you a couple of questions. I'm Red McCraith. I'm a Banisher. I'm searching the area for evidence of witchcraft. And you, I can tell, are itching to help me.
Show your shite and shapes, goose peddler. No witches here. Only myself, Caleb Watson.
Tell me a tale. What have you heard round about lately that might be of interest?
Gossip's for shite bags. Not being a shite bag, I don't gossip.
The governor bade me make the rounds. Is anyone acting strange?
Why would he ask you that?
Everyone keeps secrets, and I have a talent for uncovering them.
I ain't got no secrets. I ain't done no wrong. Search me house if you don't believe me. See for yourself. And when you're done, if you're any kind of man, you'll come back here, doff your cap, apologise, then shite off and never come back.
If you're looking for someone acting strangely, I think you've found your man.
I'll be leaving you alone for now.
A man content with his own company is never alone. You hear that? Good one, right? Feels terrible, doesn't it? This is wrong. It's wrong, I tell you.
Being courted by two brothers at once rarely ends well.
Personal experience.
Don't go there.
This is wrong. It's wrong, I tell you.
Debris from a burned down house?
Why keep it here?
Feels terrible, doesn't it?
Ishmael Law said Watson lost his wife and brother.
Caleb Watson is out of his mind with grief. What's this? It's not metal, not wood. Bone. It's bone. Lovely.
I think we need to talk to Caleb Watson.
Feels terrible, doesn't it? You done enough sniffing? Hmm? Tired of the smell of your own arse?
You said you had no secrets. That was a lie, am I right? Everyone has secrets.
I can smell your secrets from here, mate. A pox on you. And a pox on your questions, too.
You'll not take him head on. You must take your time. Outflank him.
There's burned debris out back. I found bone in it. Where does it come from?
You must have little business if you spend your time sifting through my rubbish. It came from the house. Probably.
I read your letter to Ruth. It's clear you loved her. Were you telling the truth about Alexander's infidelity?
My name is Caleb Watson. And before God and all present, I swear that the letter I wrote to Ruth was a load of shite. Lusting for his beloved Ruth, I set out to ruin Alexander's name, 'cause I'm a greedy little prick.
You're frank. You don't sound like you regret it, though.
No, the past's the past. Dead and buried. My brother is but a lingering memory.
It was terrible what happened to your wife and brother. Might have helped if you'd mentioned it. You must be grieving. Do you mind if I ask where they're buried?
Shite on me shite bag brother, and shite on you too. They're both deep in the dirt up at God's Acre, and I'll speak no more of it.
What's going on at God's Acre, Caleb?
Shite off with your God's Acre, and good riddance to both. God's Acre concerns you not.
You need to tell me what happened here. Stop hiding.
Nothing happened. Buried. Buried all. Quiet, you. And you can shite off, taking your nothing happened with you.
Whatever happened, it happened at God's Acre.
Thoughts on Caleb?
You first, young man.
Talking to Caleb felt like talking to a group. I'm thinking possession.
Possession is plausible, but the clues are confusing. We jump to no conclusions. Instead, we gather proof.
God's Acre?
God's Acre. Too heavy to lower from your side. Here we are. Let us find the graves of Alexander and Ruth, and whatever got Caleb acting so strange.
Look to me.
Don't just stand there. Move.
Did we miss a few?
Someone's been doing some undertaking.
In New Eden, there's much to be done. Ruth Watson. There's another grave beneath it.
Grave robbers.
Yes, but what exactly were they stealing?
I can help.
If undertakers did this, they should find other work.
I doubt there's a job on Earth that suits whatever did this. Here did lie Alexander Watson.
Did Caleb take their bodies?
Someone did, and he's at the top of my list.
Well, they made quite the mess.
Decoys, to distract wayward specters. To keep them away from the Watson plot, I think. Rudimentary. Someone's had a little training.
Perhaps the decoys may show us the way.
Follow the path. Don't get too close.
And try.
This way. More of them. Ask for help if you need it. That's what I was talking about when I said don't get too close. Demonology. I should have known.
What in God's green hell is this?
Fight now, talk later.
It's certainly going well.
Get back up! Watch it. That harvester switched form.
Physical to spectral. They do that.
Many buds that thing have? They brought more flares.
Crows incoming. It's up to no good. I'm here, damn it. I can help. Come back here! Ask for help. A vicious scourge that despises the living. In these lands, what a surprise indeed. Shrines now? With bones?
It's like Lady Blackwood's boudoir around here. I sense an echo somewhere nearby. Something's here.
Hidden.
What is this?
It's a chant.
Oh there, fella. You're nasty, aren't you?
Nasty, yes, but also shoddy. It's very poor work. It looks like a butchered version of the ritual of Lesser Palingenesis.
The ritual of... that ritual? The one that brings someone back? That ritual?
Yes, that ritual.
Through a single point passes an infinity of paths.
As flesh unto verb, as verb unto heart, as heart unto flesh. Death's knot is unsevered, and I shall
Cut it.
You! No! No! You were not supposed to!
Down, boy. Yes. Come to me, Ruth. Come to me, my love. Come back to me.
Caleb Watson invoked a ghost without a body for it to inhabit, so it took his. Caleb is no longer Caleb.
Is he still in there too?
He used pieces of his wife and also of his brother.
Ruth, Alexander, Caleb, could be any combination of them in there.
Let's go find out which.
Think you could take on a ghost? Get the hell out of there! This isn't over yet.
That ritual, I suspect it's beyond me.
It's not, but we agreed he won't need it. Besides, Caleb's work was poor. Your work is good.
A ritual like that, good is not a word that comes to mind.
Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever come to us again. Shite off.
We've been to God's Acre. Quite a tale it told us. You're not Caleb, are you? Or at least not entirely.
Ah. Can't fog you. Alexander Watson. Long tale short, Caleb tried to bring his dead wife back. And I live here now.
So many questions. Where to even start?
Do both of you share Caleb's body?
Share? No. This house of flesh is mine. But because I am a generous man, I allow my brother to live in the cellar. We were twins. I was the rotten half, they said. But who's the rotten half now?
He was trying to bring his wife back. How did you end up in the mix?
Caleb made a fine cobbler, a poor brother, a worse husband, and a truly terrible witch. The ritual went to shite, because... of course it did. There's something else you should know, if you don't know it already. I'm not alone. I completed the ritual. My darling Ruth is in here too.
Caleb was no saint, but this is hellish grim. Does he deserve it?
Aye, he does. And it's not like I killed him. He's alive in here somewhere, watching me ruin his name. He can hear me now, destroying his reputation, as I had to hear him destroy mine when he painted me a fornicator.
How nice.
He took our love, Ruth and mine, and killed it. Now our love's reborn, and he can do naught but sit and watch. Caleb was a cad. Shite on him. Let him suffer.
You died trying to save Ruth from a burning house. True.
True.
And where was Caleb while all this was happening?
He was there. He stood rooted in place, frozen in fear. And then it was too late. He could do nothing but watch us burn. Caleb's name was ruined then. We're just putting the boot in.
You used the ritual to bring Ruth's spirit into Caleb's body. Why?
Love moves a soul to strange endeavors. We deserve a better life. I set myself to claiming it.
I understand your anger, more so your desire. But what of Ruth's? Did you consider what she wanted?
Caleb stole a life from me, but he also stole Ruth's voice. She shrank beneath him. Of course she wanted a second chance at life.
I'd like to hear this from Ruth. May I please speak with her?
No! We've carved ourselves out a little happiness at last. I'll not have you break it. Please, leave us alone. Give us this.
We need to speak to her, one way or another. If he won't tell us anything, perhaps the house Ruth died in will.
You're well placed to see what goes on around here. Help me out. Have you seen anything noteworthy?
I've made a point of keeping people away, but aye, I see things. And I take note.
Lammy Haskell. Any thoughts about him?
The Haskell boy? What about him? He's weird. Talked with Caleb about nonsense. Both of them were full of shite.
What's your take on the governor?
My brother gave him the Glad Hand Act, and the governor lapped it up. Haskell's opinion of himself is far too high. To win his favour, you need only prop him up. He dragged my name through the dirt. Shite on him, and his so-called eloquence. What use is a silver tongue when your heart is yellow?
Tell me about folk here. Who stands out for you? What think you of them?
What think I of they who shunned me? Gulled by my black-mouthed brother? What think I of malicious fools for whom I had to die to be redeemed? I'd say a curse upon them. But 'tis too late. The curse has already come.
How goes the settlement, would you say?
It's going to hell in a shitting handcart. Not that I care, mind. But there's sport in guessing who shall live and who shall die. Hope they find that witch, though. Can't have witches about the place doing the devil's work.
I'll be leaving you alone for now.
Alone? Not really. Hush now. All is well. Nothing bad will ever come to us again.
Ruth and Alexander are having an affair in her husband's body.
I'll not judge, but how much I want to.
Something feels wrong. Something about Ruth. If we find the ghost tie, we can talk to her.
The house that burned down. The roof fell in with them inside.
There's a lot of debris. Fred, I can't manifest anymore. Wards, you're on your own. The ghost wards feel far away from here. Just one keeps me from manifesting. Fancy knocking it down? Much better. Need me to give that roadblock a little push? Like falling off a log after being startled by a wisp in Akashus.
Never gonna let me live that one down, are you? Time must be nearby. This work shows real sensitivity. Caleb?
Maybe. Well, Alexander, I suspect we've just learnt a little about Ruth. Of course. Ruth's heart binds them like a bushel of rotting corn.
You! What do you have there? Stop right there, you rank rump! Whatever you found, it ain't yours!
You buried Ruth's heart in the ashes of the house that killed her. I find that odd.
You, a ghost, went digging in the ashes of a dead woman's house. You're ill-positioned to call me odd. Don't think I haven't felt your presence before.
Stow your tongue while I speak with Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Can you speak?
Puck off and die! I'm in charge here.
No. Hush ye, Alexander. I'll speak.
I'm Ruth. I hear you.
I'm Antea Duarte. We're here to help.
I'm glad. Please, end this nightmare. Help me.
Go to hell in a bag of shite. We're fine, and you have not the right, you hear? You've not the right. Her heart! Give it back!
He come foolish is hook.
No more does he silence me. We may speak. Help me, please.
Who taught Caleb the resurrection ritual?
To say it was taught would mean he'd learned it. He read it off a page. As a sorcerer, Caleb makes a fine cobbler. Thing about Caleb, he was a good listener. As he worked, clients would bend his ear. The Haskell boy, for one. As Caleb pinned the governor's shoes, young Lammy would talk magic. Nonsense, really. But Caleb was listening.
Lammy Haskell gave Caleb the resurrection ritual. I should have known. Always watch out for the quiet ones.
After Lammy mentioned the ritual, Caleb became obsessed with it. He begged. Lammy, in his misplaced generosity, gave it. Caleb was intent on dark work. Lammy furnished written instructions.
Caleb's letter changed your life. How did it feel at the time?
It tore me in two. I loved Alexander, but I deserved to marry a man who would be true. Caleb seemed decent. I believed he loved me. I thought I married the better brother, but I'd married a liar. A liar and a devil. And yet, not even he deserves this. No one deserves this.
How did Caleb treat you?
With adoration. I was an idol. Worshipped, yet unloved. He was the sculptor and I was the statue. Smiling down, unmoving from my pedestal with nothing to say. Now I'm sewn into a festering sack with the quivering remnants of my husband and the angry ghost of his dead brother. Please, let me out.
Ruth, your husband Caleb's botched resurrection ritual brought you back, but allowed his brother Alexander to take you hostage.
Once we deal with the Watson brothers, you shall be free to ascend.
Do what you must. I'll suffer it if it leaves me free to go.
No! We can stay. Please, Ruth, let us stay.
Look at you. You're counterfeit, a sham of a thing. Your so-called life is no life at all. Caleb lied and stole your love. But when the time was right, you lied and stole his body. We're ending this nonsense now. Alexander, yours is no romantic fable. There is no moral to this tale. You're a hostage taker, nothing more.
No, Caleb can go to hell, for he well deserves it. But Ruth and I are in love.
Greedy men fight over a woman as if she were a thing. I'm done with that old story. Time to tell a better tale.
Ruth is free to go.
I shall have my rest now. Thank you.
You are dead. You are no more.
Are they gone?
Am I speaking with the cobbler, Caleb Watson? That you, Caleb?
I think... yes, that's me. Or it was me, once. For my bastard brother was my hollow keeper.
You're not entirely innocent, though. If you'll permit the unfortunate expression, there was more than one of you in it.
My brother deserved damnation, and you gave it to him. I am an imperfect man, but if you're considering the same for me, I'll not go without a fight.
I too am an imperfect man. I have mercy and patience in limited supply. Let's not test those limits further, eh?
Alexander loved Ruth like a man loves his hat. Love a woman like a thing, and you do not love her at all.
Ruth deserved better, in life and in death. That was something.
Don't take it to heart. Their choices are not your business.
Our choices are my business. And their consequences too.
Don't waver. We could win a battle, but we can't win the war. Nobody should conquer death. And we don't want to pay the price of trying.
Aye. I hear you.
Good. Now, let's see what Lammy Haskell has to say about raising spirits from the dead.
Governor.
May I help you, Mr. McCraith?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times, perhaps. But he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me. I must find your son, Governor. Sooner rather than later.
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Here, take the gate key. Go there. See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
He was quick to condemn till it was his own son on the block. Who's he really protecting?
We'll bring him the proof he wants. If the boy is guilty, his father may not be able to protect him.
Hell's balls. What happened here?
Something's emanating from under there.
No wonder this place is off limits.
Watch out! We made it angry.
Reinforcements!
You shouldn't stay in there.
Did we miss a few?
Run, Red!
One of these must be Lammy's hideaway.
This ivy is strong. Really strong.
You don't say.
Wards, think you can fend for yourself?
Lammy, you here? He was studying botany. Why botany?
Can you find a way around the locked door?
The incisions are clean. The precision of an expert.
There's magic here, though faint.
Arrowloo. Mean anything to you?
Not a thing.
You mentioned an old mill. Seemed fascinated by the place. Nothing incriminating. Yet.
Remember what we found at Caleb Watson's? Maybe we're not looking in the right place. If I had something to hide, I might hide it in an abandoned mill.
Move, Red. I have another in sight. Throwing a tantrum, are you? They're vexed now. Think you could take on a ghost? Spectre, going for a meat suit.
Why a mill?
Away from the village. Perfect for his research. Perfect to hide secrets.
He's not out here for pleasure, that's for sure. Peaceful. Like home on a good day. Oh, it's hilly, man. He felt like playing with the lambs. Blair preferred to feed them. And I was too busy dreaming.
And you?
Oh, I cooked them for dinner. The lambs, I mean. Oh, the girls were furious.
Yes, but they weren't hungry.
Is it just me, or?
I felt it too. Hogging all the fun. Go.
Watch out. I can help.
Piss off! You're done.
What should we expect up there?
A gateway to the mythical Aralu, whatever that is. Otherwise, terrible tragedy, dark doings, sick secrets, at a wild guess. I can manifest now.
Think you could take on a ghost?
Come on, Red.
Focus, Red.
They're vexed now.
Piss off!
Don't let it crush you.
Looks derelict. Is he really in sight? We need to stop at some point. Here would be all right.
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here. A ward restrains me. Much better. Easy as pie.
Nah, but you can't.
Oh, there.
Guess we're not going that way.
There should be a way up here.
I feel something close. Something's here.
Hidden. What hides here in the dark? Come out, come out.
Looks like Lammy was trying to translate some sort of ritual.
Not any ritual. This is the Lesser Palingenesis.
I guess no one warned Lammy that grimy reincarnation rituals were not without risk. This relay lad seems dangerous.
His apprentice seems to be following him down the same path. More ghost wards. Someone was being extra careful.
He doesn't speak well of his dad.
Did he seek power? Was he hoping to step out of his father's shadow?
If he did, he went the wrong way about it. So, what are you hiding in here, evil spawn?
Glancing at the original writing, Lami's work was poor. No wonder the ritual he spawned for Caleb from those botched words of power went wrong.
We need to get to the top floor. Bet we'll find something.
Red, come look.
No crank. Great.
Why did he feel like he needed so much protection? More magic mockery. He wished to disguise his presence, or perhaps to distract from it.
It's just a lift. Why is this mechanism so complex? That book, again.
The Agrippa. That's not good. Not good at all.
What level of not good are we talking about exactly?
This book promises eternal life, but the promise is a trap. Let's hope it hasn't been used.
The crank. Good. The lift should work now. All this is more serious than we thought. I'm apprehensive. Not just because we're going underground.
We'll be careful. We don't know what Lammy was up to. And the signs are not encouraging.
You know, I could get to like it underground. The darkness, the gloom, the cool air.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all.
This ivy's well rooted in the invisible.
Right? And therefore impossible to comb out.
Stand fast. It's almost done. I'm right here, you know. Careful!
Time to end this monstrosity. When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. Red, come look. falling off a log after being startled by a wisp in Akashus.
Never gonna let me live that one down, are you?
Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how we got through the Soaarz vigilance?
So, here we are.
I suppose now we step into the void.
Suppose we do. Dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lammy can't be far.
Wards, think you can fend for yourself? Ghost wards.
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm?
Wards, you're on your own.
Wards work well enough. You didn't need to kill so many bots.
Demonologists use necromancy. Maybe he thought he'd bring them back when he was done. Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low. Beware. Wards.
Careful now.
Creepy hideout. The governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased. This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Sometimes I worry about you. Ugh. What is this thing?
Banisher rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void. So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
As hiding places go, the Void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the lesser palingenesis.
Oh. You know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual, not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulti Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettersheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating.
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
Are you a demonologist like your father?
More or less. Less, more so. My father sees occultism through the eyeglass of his faith, but I know better. So, more so?
If you don't share your father's faith, what do you believe?
I believe in the afterlife. The proof is about us. And if the void embodies eternal despair, there must too be a place of hope. But where, I ask myself, where?
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them, the very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
Who was your father's friend?
An itinerant Frenchman who often visited New Eden in recent years. He called himself a true pursuer. As a thinker, he was prolific and profound. My father was so proud to be included in his discourse. For him, knowledge is the ladder to greatness, and greatness is the prize. To me, knowledge is itself the prize.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
By the Araloo, do you mean the Void?
Neither name does it justice. This place is beyond words. The Araloo, Mr. McCraith, is made of the very fabric of our primordial myths. Isn't it amazing?
How can you be sure the Void has tainted the region?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte, but could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just you're the first ghost I've met, in person, as it were.
I don't eat. Not in the way you do. I feel hunger. Again, not in the way you do.
Fascinating. And can you touch things, smell them? Are colours the same as you remember them?
My senses are different. It's difficult to describe how. I can see, sometimes touch. I cannot smell. Red tells me this is a blessing.
How do you manifest in this plane? Do you feel bound, or are you here by choice?
It feels as if I were clinging to a rope, high above the abyss. Even if I wished to let go, I could not bring myself to do it.
I see. What about your Banisher skills? Can you use them? Do the accoutrements of your craft still work? As a ghost, do they not harm you?
The marks on my hands and the rings on my fingers aren't actually there. They have no more effect on me than a memory.
Can you talk to any ghost you wish?
No. I sense traces of their presence. To talk to them, I must still do the work.
And yet here I am, talking to you. How marvelous. The dead are rarely as articulate, nor are they accommodating. In fact, they're often quite rude.
We should probably get going. Some other time, then.
But we've merely scratched at the surface of the great mysteries. I mean, look around us. We stand here beyond the ultimate frontier. Sorry. I mean to say, yes, Mistress Duarte.
Antea, we should get going. So, the pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
The more powerful the loose cannon, the more dangerous it is. I don't know that I buy Lammy's hair of the dog theory, but I feel strange, and I suspect the ooze.
Only one way to find... Oh, God! I need a wee bit of help here. Well, that was not pleasant. Not pleasant at all.
Take care. The place is warded. Wards. Think you can fend for yourself? Something has me. Wards. The ward's power is gone.
friends. Oozes through the breach, suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Let's see what lies on the other side. Where are we now?
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The ooze affects the incarnate, too. Who goes there?
Is that a ghost?
I don't know. But I don't think we're alone. What might you be, then?
What was...
Innocence. Oh, shite.
Did you just say shite? You?
Listen.
It's bigger than I thought it'd be.
Is that a house from the Harrows?
We may be below the well.
No wonder they all got sick.
Picking up something spectral nearby. I feel something close. I feel something close. I feel a draft.
From the invisible.
This house belonged to a certain Antipas and Clemency Gibbs. Their land was barren. They were struggling for money.
Look up. The ooze, oozed through the very stone.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibbs, have you read my paper?
I read it, aye. And then I washed my hands and prayed for grace. You claim to prove that there is no curse. Well...
A witch would say that, wouldn't she?
Wherever people gather to live, disease takes hold, and I believe... What are you doing?
Your evil lies shall be destroyed. We know who you are, and you shall be judged. Witch!
They were determined to do for her. She built a case for her rationality, and they tore it apart.
And of all of them, just this one house fell down.
Maybe it was personal.
Could this house have been targeted by the ooze?
Obviously. Look around you. Mrs. Gibbs, I presume. Wasn't I always?
Another shadow.
What do they want? Red, something is keeping me from manifesting.
In here? Ah, shite. I see a ghost ward. What are they doing here?
Better.
You're welcome.
Now let's inspect the body.
Watch out. Spectre position.
Expected no less from you, missus. Reinforcements!
Watch out. We made it angry.
Someone didn't want to stay dead.
Clemency Gibbs blamed the epidemic on a witch. Come from New Eden Town with the governor.
That's not what the woman they accused was saying.
Well, the Gibbs were not at home to rational explanations. See anything?
Either the water table is full of ooze, or there's another source.
Let's search upstream.
Will they not both fall
bastard!
Careful!
God, you're tougher than a gadfly!
It's on you! I'm right here, you know. Over there.
Elusive little buggers. Still impressive. Suddenly feel invigorated. Feels weird. Well, pleasant.
Told you. Don't step in that. I mean it.
Find a way around then.
Something has me. Wards.
Those echoes we're hearing are the shadows speaking.
They always appear near the ooze.
So do the whispers.
But which came first? The whispers say the same things over and over.
What kind of entity would be so obsessed?
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Don't let that spectre get to the corpse.
There's more of them. don't you? This looks perfectly drinkable.
Famous last words.
Why hasn't poison spread to the groundwater?
Perhaps it shifts and shapes, like the void. Off you go then. I feel the dark curse or spell we found already.
We should find that ritual Seeker told us about. I've kept her notes about the hut location.
This whole country is rotten to the core.
And you're just now reaching this conclusion?
If I wanted your opinion, I'd give it to you.
Perhaps if you gave me the space to have one, then we'd both be better off. Someone came through here, someone real, not just a shadow. Whoever it was, looks like the ooze got him. What do you think, Antea?
You wanted the space to have your own opinion. I'm giving it to you.
This must be Antipas Gibbs. Hell of a fall to live through. Now join in any time, Antea.
What do you think I'm doing?
This is God's land. How could we let a witch come to our community? Instructing our children, no less.
'Tis no surprise. New Eden brims over with backsliders. The governor, chief amongst them.
Aye, many had to sicken and die for him to act. But the deed is not yet done.
We must fight the Lord's good fight and cast the devil out for good. Many want to try the witch, aye, and many want to see her dead.
think you could take on a ghost?
Great! More fun!
Die, you bastard!
Those things came from the ooze. They're like those oriental shapeshifters we fought in Bremen.
Or Bacche liquefy. This is something else. The ooze reacted to our presence. The Gibbs were so angry. Pure entitled bigotry.
Maybe they were affected by the ooze. I mean, we've been snapping at each other since we got here. Something's toying with us.
I think they made the ooze. I don't think the ooze made them. We should search this place more thoroughly.
Aye. Hold on a wee minute. This place deserves a proper sweep. This is it. This is the source. How do we get to it? Oh, shelter with a damp and itchy straw bed. Just how I like it.
Something tells me this is the condemned well. Do you think you could get that bucket down? The bucket is tainted. I sense the vivid echo of a ghost's memory. An echo from the past drifts by.
The devil still breathes through her mouth. We are cursed, and you are stalling.
Clemency, Antipas, please. The woman has been jailed. As per custom, she will face trial and justice will be brought to this community.
Coming from a magic user himself. But can you or your demonologist discernment really be trusted?
How dare you insinuate such blasphemy? I'm a man of faith.
Then do what God commands of you. Governor, we ask for safety. If we do not get it, there will be consequences.
The governor used Urim and Thummim, and that made his flock suspicious.
Divination stones. He must have thrown them down the well when he sealed it. Why now?
Hiding the evidence perhaps of his role in the witch trial. They connected him to the demonology he used to reinforce his authority.
That echo proves that things were getting out of hand. For his son's safety and his own, Haskell must have feared the suspicious mob.
All deserted you, none supported you.
This can't be good.
Bring forward the accused.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Confess! Let them speak.
If we speak, so you listen?
Impudence! Provocation! Read the charges! Let Urim the Great. You have blood on your hands and weakness in your heart. Guilty! Swore to vanquish evil. You conspired with witches.
Sworn to banish all ghosts. Instead, you embrace one.
The charges. Cowardice, oath-breaking, deception. The verdict. Guilty. The sentence. Pain hereafter.
I only seek the truth.
Bloody hell. Is that me? What a cheap trick. What the hell just came out of that shadow?
It's working. Keep at it.
The shadow shadow's got its strength back.
Don't let the ooze get back to its shadow.
Health balls! I think this one is mine.
Getting rid of that ooze should...
Bloody hell, that stinks! Is in the past. I'm not him anymore. Expected to fight myself today.
I can help. Ghosts are dangerous, and I'd no reason to show mercy. This just won't do. This thing is mine. No, not anymore. I need to be the one to face it. This is going to vex me. This thing is mine. Bloody shadow. Let me. You need my help. Yeah? Well, I rebuke his. This is going to vex me. I can sure as hell try. I need to be the one to face it. This just won't do.
We use rituals to help the living, not curse them.
Magic is only a tool.